Fellas, say goodbye to Chuck Sherman the boy. I am now a man. I highly recommend you join the club. We are doing the wild thing all night.
Acid house music.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sherm.
Sherman, I cook all this food. Is that all you gonna eat?
General Sherman realized and understood the importance of house music.
So, do you know anything about techno?
No.
Listen.
Get it on.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm. Today is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. This is episode 164. I'm so excited to share this one with you guys. I have a very special guest, and it's someone that I'm such a big fan of. We've got the one and only DJ producer Cloverdale on for this week's episode, and I know you guys will enjoy it just as much as we did. In episode 164, we got it all in, and we jumped right into his early inspirations and influences. Cloverdale is originally from Ottawa, Ontario in Canada, and grew up playing in rock and metal bands. Once he heard Skrillex's Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites album, he was immediately drawn to the unique energy and parallels between rock and metal and electronic music. Shortly after, he was inspired to start making his own music with friends. The rest is history. We also had a great conversation on his transition from being a dubstep producer to a tech house producer. Cloverdale wasn't always Cloverdale. He was originally known as AWAL and produced dubstep for a good portion of his career. Even though he was having success, he was also playing house sets as Cloverdale and became obsessed with the energy from the crowd. In 2018, he officially started releasing music under the Cloverdale moniker and slowly transitioned out of the dubstep scene. However, he does still make dubstep and absolutely loves the music. Now, of course, we talked about the Cloverdale discography. He is such a special producer and harnesses his dubstep creativity in an extremely unique way with his 4-on-the-floor tech house tracks. This style has given him the credibility to release on labels like Confession, Night Service Only, Dim Mak, Gold Deeper, In Rotation, and so many more. This guy's really got a unique sound. I also love talking about his new label called Vibrancy. In late 2020, Cloverdale launched Vibrancy, a forward-thinking tech house label with one sound in mind: high-octane tech house, and oh my lord did they deliver. We had a blast talking about the ins and outs of what it's like running a label and everything that goes into making it successful. Love what they're putting out. Cloverdale is someone that you absolutely need to add to the Rolodex. His music speaks for itself, but he's so much more than your average DJ producer. He's making an impact, and everything he does comes straight from the heart, and I love that about him. Much love and respect, my man, and thanks for coming on the show. Let's get into it right now so you guys can hear his story for yourselves. This is episode 164 with Cloverdale. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I am ecstatic to have Alex Walsh, aka Cloverdale, on the show. Cheers, my friend.
Oh,
Saw
cheers,
you drink a little something. What are you drinking there?
This is actually Bulwark cider. It is from the Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia, about like 40 minutes from here. And it's some cider from. They have a lot of wineries and apples and orchards and things out there.
Yeah,
it's fancy.
Yeah, that's true. And I have a day job in logistics, and there's a ton of like apples that come out of northern Maine and all that weird area too. All the produce and stuff too. I'm drinking a Corona Extra. I couldn't be more lame.
Dude, that's my other choice, actually. That's the other thing that's in the fridge.
Okay. All right, cool. I feel a little bit better though.
Yeah, man.
It's great to have you here, man. Like I said before we went live, I've have you on the list for a while, and you've come up so many times in lots of different ways: content creation, your own label, people playing your music. And just everything you're doing, man, is really cool. So I just want to take a second to say, like, you're a fucking rock star, bro, for real.
I appreciate it a ton, dude. I'm stoked that you're kind of connecting with what we're putting up on the internet, and it's cool sometimes because I feel like for the better part of the year, I've just been here in Nova Scotia and just uploading things to the internet. And people have seemed to be enjoying it, and now I'm here chatting to all kinds of people.
Yeah,
I'm having phone calls with people all the time, and I'm like, I haven't really left my room a lot.
I feel the same way. I'm in Chicago, obviously, and like things are still slowly opening up. And just today, I was like, you know what? I need to get out of my apartment. I need to go walk around. You just kind of forget the days go by. I don't know what's happened, but we're here now.
Days be flying. I don't know if that's just me or anybody else, but I really have found that lately the days have been like, yeah, zooming. Like I knew we had this call, and then like half hour ago, I was like, oh shit, like that's
same
15 minutes ago.
I know.
Zooming.
Alex, I feel like you say Nova Scotia. I know where it is, but a lot of people, like somebody in Los Angeles probably is like, where the fuck is that? Is that Greenland? Can you tell us where Nova Scotia is exactly in North America?
Right. This is what's wild. There's actually, we're a whole time zone east of New York.
Yes, that's insane.
East of New York. Like there's actually shit out there. People don't realize that. So,
yeah, I forgot where it was, and you're like, yeah, I'm 2 hours ahead of Chicago. I'm like, 2 hours ahead of you in the middle of the ocean, bro?
Yeah, bro, that's me. Do you know what's nuts? So we have another province, Newfoundland, which is like even further east of Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
and they're a half hour past us.
Half hour?
Yeah, they're fucked. They're a bunch of weirdos over there.
Half hour ahead.
Yeah. So right now it is 9:40 something. I don't know.
Wow. Well,
not
thank
40,
you.
50.
Thank you for taking the time on a Tuesday night with me, man.
Oh, dude, no problem. I'm pleasure to be here, and I'll chat with you any day, man. Any day.
We're excited to have you, brother. Now, I always like to kick off an interview with a fun question, and you, like I said, are this incredibly creative person, and your social media is amazing. And you were mentioning it before we went live. You really have this cool personal brand, and I think that's what makes you so unique, because you're the only Alex, you know what I mean? Like I'm the only Sherman. That's something that I really respect about you too. But a lot of musicians, let alone people in the house world, have trouble with content creation. What's your secret or strategy to always keeping it fresh and fun? I mean, you've literally done Twitch streams in your bathtub. You like consistently are trying new things, and it's all extremely entertaining. Did it happen like that originally for you, or how long you've been having fun with it like this?
Dude, okay, so yeah, it has been so much fun, and I have to give a massive shout out to my manager and Vibrancy's co-founder and label manager, Todd, who has really
let's go Todd.
Yeah, massive shout out to Todd in that department, because he has really sort of like opened me up to be like, hey, like why not? He's kind of always that guy that, you know, no idea is too crazy. And that. Like, you know, always is encouraging everyone to think outside of the box and really try and do things differently. And so, you know, I feel like bringing him on board has really helped me to think of things differently. And then and now together, him and I are always bouncing ideas off each other. Anytime we think of something, anytime he thinks of something dope, anytime I think of something dope, you know, we're bouncing things back off. You know, today I just texted him and I was like, Todd, the website needs to accept Bitcoin. Why don't we accept Bitcoin? Like, it's like every DJ has, like, I literally scroll through my Facebook feed and like, I'm not really much of a cryptocurrency dude at all.
Me neither.
But I have a little bit, and that's about it. And then I just look at it and I'm like, all right, cool.
Back to house.
But I scroll through my feed, and it seems like every other producer and DJ is like a cryptocurrency wizard. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, I feel like we should probably accept Bitcoin on the Vibrancy store. That was my thoughts. Anyways, he said maybe, but the accounting will be difficult.
That's the genuine heartfelt answer. Yep.
But anyways, we're always trying to think of, you know, what's the thing that we can do to kind of bring it to the next level to, you know, be as professional as we can. You know, because, you know, half the time you're thinking, you're like, well, like, you know, how did so-and-so, you know, become so popular? It's because they did the damn thing. Yeah. You know, they went out there and they created some cool content. They did some unique stuff. They did some stuff that nobody else had done before. So that's just what you got to do. You got to get out there and, you know, not only make a ton of music, but figure out the coolest creative ways to deliver it to people as well. So, you know, definitely don't try and do what everybody else is doing. Try and look the other way and think outside of the box. And that's no idea is too dumb, and roll with
Facts.
it.
That's true. In fact, probably the more dumb the idea is, the least likely someone's already done it before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, your content really is incredible, and we'll get into
thank
that.
you so much, dude.
But we're here to get your full story today, man. Let's take it all the way back. You're in Nova Scotia right now. Where are you originally from?
Dude, I'm originally from Ottawa, Ontario. So it's like in between Montreal and Toronto. And I lived there like until I was 18, went through elementary school and high school and stuff there.
Nice.
And grew up playing in like rock and metal bands, which I think is a theme amongst sort of producers these days. It seems to be
so true. I know. I'm gonna reveal one of your secrets. You were a dubstep producer.
Yeah.
It's like you go rock band or metal and you love that stuff, and then you get into electronic music and you want the grit, and then you eventually end up at house music because you can still deliver that, right?
Yeah, dude. That's it, man. That's it. So that was it. But while in high school, I kind of, it would have been near the end, I was listening to, a lot of Daft Punk and Mastercraft, early Deadmau5. And then it would have been just after I graduated that Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites came out. And I was like, I remember the first time I heard it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I like this. This sounds like noise. And I don't really think it's music, because I don't really... But I didn't really hate it. I was just like, I don't think I like it. And then like a couple days later, I was like, oh my God, yes, this is great. I had it like burned on a CD in my dad's Show 5 Impala.
There we go.
We'd drive, because the drinking age in Ontario was 19. Right. But in Quebec, which is in Ottawa, it's like kind of a border city. It's on the river. And across the river, the drinking age is 18. So we would just drive across and buy all our beer and then drive back. And I just remember doing that all the time, just blasting Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites.
Yes.
So yeah.
Wow. Wait, so what instrument did you play?
I played guitar and bass. Yeah. And I kind of, what really got me into producing though is my house was like sort of the jam space. My parents sacrificed everything to listen to the drums all day, because my brother was a drummer.
Nice.
Massive love to my parents for that. And because of it, we also started buying sort of some recording equipment here and there. Like, you just kind of collect gear over time if you're a musician. And so, bought a couple of mics, bought like a little sound card, got Cubase, started dabbling around on recording music. And then I was like, at the time, listening to a bunch of hip hop and listening to some other like electronic music. And I was like, might as well, I downloaded FL Studio, started messing around with that. Wow. And then I went away to university. My first couple years of university, I didn't really do too much music. I did a lot of studying at the bar, and playing a lot of pool.
Nice.
And then I remember like it was, and like going to the raves. And then I remember it was like I don't know, third, fourth. It was the end of my third year of university. Me and all my buddies were hanging out by the pool, and it's kind of an embarrassing song that would like sparked it, but it was Calvin Harris, "I Need Your Love."
Dude, that's a banger. Don't worry, this is safe space. I love that song too.
Safe space. But that song came out, and my buddy was like, "Hey man, like how do you think like this music is made?"
Yeah.
And like I was like, "Oh, like I know I have the software on my computer that like is kind of how some of these people make it." Like I don't know if this is the same software that was used to make this song, but
right,
like, I know it's used to make like Avicii songs. And he's like, "No way." I'm like, "You know what? Like, give me a week. I'll see like what I can do. I'm gonna like dive into it," because like we had just gone and seen. I don't know. That summer went to a bunch of festivals, kind of in Montreal and stuff. So.
Good music scene in Montreal, right?
Dude, amazing music scene in Montreal. We usually try to make it out there every couple months, really. It's about it's a bit of a drive from here. We usually half the time we fly, because it is probably like a 10-hour drive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
nothing in Canada.
Long time to drive back hungover.
Yeah, dude.
The drive back, right?
Yeah, dude. That is the struggle for sure. But yeah, and then so I went home and just for a whole week straight just tried to learn FL Studio and write a song, and kind of half butchered together something. And I enjoyed the process so much that I was like, hey man, I'm gonna do that again. And that was about like 7-8 years ago, and I haven't stopped.
You were doing it by yourself, YouTube University, or like did you have a mentor?
No, I just pretty much like learned through YouTube. I and like, you know, everything else online. And then, you know, made a bunch of other sort of friends. You know, during that time, I feel like everyone, if you were sort of a budding music producer, and I mean, this could still be the case today, but I'm just not on Facebook as much, but we would all just add each other on Facebook all the time. And so my
that phase.
My friends list is fucked. It's literally just 5,000 people. I have no clue who any of you are. But like, I very much just like met a ton of other people all over that were also sort of doing the same stuff as me. So I actually got like a pretty solid group chat of friends, and we'd always just send sort of whips back and forth and ask for feedback. And that group chat lasted probably like 3 years. And it's wild. So a lot of those guys that were in that chat now, I'd say like a good chunk of them are like still like making careers out of it. Most of them are sort of in the sort of trap and bass world. So like Kramac is like a Circus Records dubstep guy. He's like one of my good friends here from Halifax, actually.
Awesome.
And so Black Sheep was in there, who does some sort of trap music. Trip from Shipwreck was in there.
Nice.
Who else? Priska, who is like was my roommate for a while, and he has a bunch of like Monster Cat type releases. Who else was in there? I'm missing some people that are still killing it, but there was a gang of people that
that's special.
That really. Oh, one of the guys that's now what's this guy? He has a new project now that's partnered with Carnage. Anyways, now I forget it.
Partnered with Carnage?
Yeah, he's all hard trap music. Now I'm forgetting his name.
Oh,
he wears a hat. He's a mysterious producer.
Oh yeah,
I know his real name, but now I forget the project's name. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about. He came out of nowhere, right? And then he was right hand man. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Now I'm forgetting it.
But you learned from them, like you guys would send either.
Yeah, we'd all just send demos back and forth and be like, like, what do you think of this? How's my kick drum on this? You know, basically.
Tale as old as time. How's my kick drum on this? Yeah,
does my snare sound like shit? And that really helped a ton, because we were always just trying to write. You know, we weren't necessarily writing the same style of music, but we were always just trying to like impress each other and one up each other a little bit. I mean, whether we were or not like it's a competition, but we were definitely all trying to get better and encouraging each other and really supporting each other, reposting each other's music, sharing each other's stuff. And so that really, even that sort of sense of community online was excellent and really sort of propelled me to kind of keep at it.
And you were Cloverdale this time?
No, this is all I produced under AWAL.
AWAL, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I did that until about I released my last AWAL song in like 2019.
That wasn't so long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, no. And I mean, I still have like a handful of music. Who knows? Maybe I'll still release some bass music here and there. Yeah. I still love bass music. I don't love the screaming, banging dubstep as much, but I still love bass music. I still have a deep passion for it, and so who knows? Yeah, exactly.
So when did Cloverdale start then? So
Cloverdale started in around 2018 as well. So it would have been February 2018, I think, and very much started for fun as a way. So my roommate and I had just he kind of had come on tour with my buddy Kramac, and I had done like a run of shows, all doing like dubstep shows here in Canada, and we did sort of every weekend for a whole summer. Wow. At the end of the summer, I was like, fuck man, I am beat. That was a lot of loud banging dubstep for a whole summer. And my buddy Jarrett had come with me, and like throughout the whole summer, we were at all these festivals and whatnot. I would find myself at the house stage every time, and I loved listening to house music. And Jarrett always is diehard house music. He loves house music and always has. And so when we came back to Halifax, I ended up moving in with Jarrett and listening to a ton of house music. And then I was in this sort of house music home, and I was like, okay, I might dabble, explore writing some house music songs.
House music home, I love that.
And then so we decided that we wanted to start Cloverdale so we could DJ house music in town. And like, I didn't want to be playing all these AWAL shows in town. I just kind of wanted a fun way to DJ. Yeah. Without sort of like the big whole ordeal of playing an AWAL show.
Right.
And so we started Cloverdale as a duo, as this fun little side project to play tech house music.
There you
go. Then decided, well, we should probably write a couple songs. So we did that, put them out. Just on SoundCloud, kind of as free downloads. Then
some remixes.
We did a couple of remixes, a couple of originals, and then we were like writing a bunch of music. I was having a lot of fun doing it. The first few shows that we played were some of the most fun that I've ever had, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Yeah, this is a ton of fun. I was still getting booked to play AWAL shows here and there, but I was just like, I was far more excited to play the Cloverdale shows than I was the AWAL shows. Yeah. I was finding like I was almost like sometimes embarrassed to be playing like super loud banging dubstep. I was like, this isn't really like, I like this, but like, I don't know. It was just feeling weird for me.
Was it the energy of the crowd? Like, what was it about a Cloverdale set versus an AWAL set that you like so much?
The Cloverdale sets, everyone for me was just in a far better mood. It was just like fun and vibey. Everyone's chilling. Yeah. I felt like, it was just a happier kind of atmosphere. Not that, you get that with dubstep shows. Dubstep shows are a ton of fun too, and they're a blast. It's just a different sort of thing. And I was just enjoying the other ones more. Yeah. Kind of just stuck with that. And, the rest is history. I basically, wrote a bunch more Cloverdale songs. Yeah. Sent a few of them off to some labels, and initially it was like the Prescription Records that picked up our first EP. So it would have been like Dr. Fresh's earlier.
Was that Free Your Mind?
No, it would have been it was called our Talk to Me EP. So it was the one with that video.
Yes.
So the Talk to Me EP, which was like a 4-track EP, and kind of from there just rolled with it, and have kind of just been trucking along since.
You've been on a fucking roll, man. Like, we got to take a second and just acknowledge you for how incredible of a producer you've become. Like, when I was rolling through everything, I'm a SoundCloud hound myself. You know what I mean? I went digging today, man, and I found a lot of your old tracks from 2018. That's why I saw some of that early stuff. And if you fast forward to here we are right now, you're at about 70,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, a couple million in cumulative streams, and 2020 brought in over 700,000 plays on Spotify alone. Like, come on, baby. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, we're getting there.
You're getting there.
We're getting there.
Keep trucking. Keep trucking, man. But you have so many amazing tracks, and I want to cover some of my favorites and also some of the ones that I think really define your sound. So you've released Confession, Night Service, Dim Mak, In Rotation, Country Club Disco, World Famous Headquarters, Gold Deeper, Club Sweat, The Prescription. Like, yeesh, bro, let's go. Those are like my favorite labels, like some of the best in the game.
Oh, thank you, dude.
So cool. And the one I want to talk about first is because it's so tight. Confession, man. Like, this is motherfucking Chami. You know what I mean? Totally. This is like a guy who I've really seen change the landscape for house and tech house and deep house too, and melodic. Totally. Like, he's such a special person in the music industry. And I know a few people, and I've had him on the show, who have released on Confession, and I swear, like, every track is different that they put out. Totally. It's it's the story they're telling. I don't know. I would love to ask Chami, but
yeah,
but sure. You're the closest I got. And Open Up EP, Open Up and Tumblin', really, really well made tracks, incredibly well produced, dude. Like, I've listened to enough music in my day to know that little extra 10% is what makes a big difference. And I could tell, like, you put that extra effort in. Let's hear that extra effort on Cloverdale's Open Up from his Open Up EP real quick. Tell me what it was like releasing on this label, making these 2 tracks. Mm-hmm. How did it feel?
Dude. Okay. So like, yeah, Confession was definitely like from the get-go, one of the labels that I had immediately gravitated to long before Cloverdale even started. And they were, always kind of pushing the boundaries of what modern house music was to me.
Yes. Well said. Yeah.
Like the first like Don Bresky EP with Utopia, and like Nitty Gritty's EP early, we had that track Fear.
Yes.
And some of those early Confession releases, Loge 21 and Low 99. And,
yes.
They were, the coolest house music sound in my opinion at the time, and I was like, holy shit. Definitely was the sort of main inspiration for starting Cloverdale. And when we initially started Cloverdale, it was like, okay, like we want to get on Confession. Like that is sort of the main goal. And
man, that's awesome.
So kind of just like worked away at it. What's funny is we had sent them so many demos kind of throughout, like from the get-go, like immediately.
Yeah, this wasn't like, the first one to get approved.
Oh yeah, no. We actually had a track called My Soul come out on a VA like earlier in 2020. It was like in February 2020. That was our first Confession one. Mm-hmm. And I remember, when we first got that signing, I was like, holy shit, like it's happened. Like, yeah, wow, like that. Yep. Definitely like a big wow moment. And then so once we kind of had that, it was kind of like we were back and forth a bunch with more demos. And then we heard back in June about Open Up and Tumblin' to come out in December. Yeah. And then I was super fired up because especially those 2 tracks, I knew Tumblin' actually, by the time it came out, it was probably like a year and like 4 or 5 months old. Like it's quite an old tune.
Yeah.
And so like I'd been playing it tons in on all the sets, and it was going off crazy live. There was a couple of videos.
The bass line in that track is dirty.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was definitely every time it got played out, people would kind of lose it, and I was like, okay, there's something here. And we sent it around to a handful of labels here and there, and eventually Confession picked it up, and it was the perfect place for it. It really
yep.
I'm glad it landed there. It took a while to come out. I would definitely wish it could have come out earlier, but at the same time, it's like, I'm glad we sort of stuck with it and waited it out to kind of like nail that release. And in the end, the EP did pretty well, and so pretty stoked about it. So
yeah, amazing, man. It's great tracks, and both of the tracks on that EP are, in my opinion, tracks that go on the USB. Like I say this almost every time. There are tracks that you release that people listen to when it comes out. There are tracks that they heart it. There are tracks that they share. There are tracks that you text to your friends, be like, wow, this is a hit. And then if you're a DJ, there are tracks that you stop literally in your tracks and go, I'm going on the Beatport. I'm downloading this right now, and I'm making sure it's on my USB. And
there we go.
Both of those tracks for me struck a nerve, bro. So that's how you know. Sick. DJ to DJ, that shit slaps.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Yes. So Night Service Only, for those that don't know, is Sid's label. And it is just so cool to see what he's been doing in the house world.
Dude,
he's the man, dude.
Yeah. for sure, man. That label, out of all the labels we work with, they really have it together. They have a killer team behind them. So they're actually partnered with Spinnin', which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have kind of the whole big Spinnin' promo engine behind them, which is incredible. And but it has been putting out some incredible music. I don't think there hasn't been a bad release. The A&Ring on that label has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The stuff like Chapter and Verse and Muse and West End and some of that. There was a Stereolize and what was that? No Problems track that was incredible too. There just hasn't been a bad release on that label, and they really do put in the work to make sure that it gets heard. And so that one with the Keep Dancing EP was one of my favorite releases of the year for sure.
Let's hear why it might have been one of Cloverdale's favorite releases. This is Cloverdale and Crude, Keep Dancing, off the Keep Dancing EP from Night Service Only.
When the lights come on and the music stops, do you want to keep dancing? Do you want to keep...
Yeah, with Crude, right? Tell me about that collaboration on Keep Dancing. You guys had an awesome video with it. You did this really cool rollout that I thought was super unique.
Yeah, man, dude, Crude's a hilarious guy, and it was a ton of fun to work with him. He very much he was kind of down to do whatever, and we were like, man, we got to do this fun promo video. Yeah. So the song Keep Dancing, our collab has this big, massive, ridiculous, obnoxious drum fill right before the last drop. And so we were like, hey, I think we should try and do like air drumming auditions and try and find a drummer to do this drum fill. And so we basically tried to find a drummer, and in the end we couldn't, so I ended up programming the drum fill.
That'll happen. Your Rock Band days came back to you.
Yeah, man. Dude, Rock Band, what a game. What a game.
Yeah.
I was more of a Guitar Hero guy myself, but
same. I could do Dragon Force on hard, but not expert. I had a friend who could, and I was so jealous. I wish I could have really played the guitar though, looking back, but
kind of like Guitar Hero kind of got me into playing guitar, and playing guitar got me into making music. Like, so I think I owe Guitar Hero for everything.
Can we say fuck DJ Hero though? Have you seen that before?
Dude, there was one of them, like just one of the controller things in my house, like that I just moved out of. I lived in a bit of it was just like 4 guys that lived there, so there was just shit everywhere. Yeah. And this random DJ Hero controller with no DJ Hero, but I very much tried to I don't know. People would just get drunk and play with it, really.
Yeah.
It was just on the table to make fun of. We also had a DJ for Dummies book. There was a bunch of just random DJ things in the house because my other roommates there are also other producers and DJs and whatnot. So it was very much a DJ house.
Sounds like an incubator.
Yeah, that's what it was, and why I was stoked to move there initially. It was because I was like, I'm going to be in this, this space of other creatives, other people doing the same thing. My roommate is sort of a sound designer who he designs splice packs, and he also produces for other sort of hip-hop people and stuff, and he's killer. He's super insanely talented.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, my other roommate Jared, who him and I did Cloverdale together for a long time, and we since kind of gone separate ways. He is also a paramedic, and so he has been crazy busy doing that and living life being a paramedic, which is wild and crazy for him. And he's kind of been dabbling, doing some more melodic music lately, and it was a cool place to live for sure. I loved being in that environment and always having someone to bounce some ideas off of. And
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, does
motivate
your
each
girlfriend
other.
like your music? How do you bounce ideas off her? You're like, babe, come in here, check this out.
Yeah, I mean, no, she does. She DJs as well, and
awesome.
She DJs more like bass music and dubstep and left field bass and weird deep dub and stuff like that.
Dub. What's her name?
Erica, but she goes by Sister Ricky.
Sister Ricky, deep dub.
Yeah. Anyways, but she's dope as fuck. And
That's
so
sick,
yeah,
bro.
our house is loud. It's real loud.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. It's very dope.
Very cool. So I want to ask about this Dim Mak release. A few reasons why. Of course, it's an incredible track. Back to that. I've been having a lot of these conversations with producers like yourself, and it's so cool to see somebody like Steve Aoki and even Spinnin, of course, is European, but like these larger artists giving platforms to people like you and I in the tech and house space. Yeah, right. Man. So they acknowledge that, like, all right, this is a little more than a small pool of people now. You know what I mean? There's like a movement. So,
dude, it's crazy. You're seeing so many of these like big room producers and EDM producers that are making like tech house tracks.
Alesso, David Guetta, like,
oh yeah,
I'm down with it, bro. Like, if I could get David Guetta to play my track at Ultra on the main stage, like, you're good. You're in the clear. That's like Swedish House Mafia playing your track or something.
Dude, it's crazy. If I look, my music's been supported by all these
big boys,
EDM DJs,
Martin Garrix, dude,
that I would have never ever sort of anticipated. And I'm like, I think Martin Garrix was one of the first ones that I was like, that's
Which track did he support?
Octane.
That's a hit. That's a fucking hit.
Thanks, man. And then from there it's like David Guetta and Afrojack and Oliver Heldens and all these sort of main stage name dudes, and I'm like, this is weird.
Where are they playing? Do they really like this?
Yeah, man. But Tech House taking over. Tech House is taking over, and I think the style that I'm writing is like a little bit more like polished, and I definitely try to go for like a really sort of clean polished mix down of sorts, so I can see I grew up on those clean polished EDM big room type mix downs, and so I do, my ear definitely gravitates to that a bit, so I can kind of see a little bit how they might be interested in some of that, and so
it's good music.
I'm nothing but supportive. I'm stoked. I'm stoked they dig it.
It's awesome. And that track too, like your synth work on that was super creative. Like,
thank you, bro.
How did you find inspiration on that track? Did you think, okay, I'm gonna send this track to Dim Mak, or did it just come to you and it fit, or like what was the story of this one specifically?
No, I never really write songs ever for like a specific angle.
Okay.
I'll open up a project, start throwing some sounds in, get a kick drum down, a clap, and then I'll kind of just follow from there. I'll be like, okay, like this kick sounds great with this clap. What's gonna be the best hi-hat that sounds great with this kick and this clap? Okay, once I get the hi-hat done, what's gonna sound great with these three? And then just keep adding what I think is gonna sound great with all of those, and kind of just let the track sort of create itself that way, versus and sometimes I'll go into it with a bit of an idea or a style a little bit, because you do need a little bit of direction, but ultimately if I kind of follow a different rabbit hole that isn't the initial direction that I set out to make, I don't give a shit. I'm like, hey, this sounds dope. I like, if it's sounding dope, keep going along. That's kind of been the mindset I've had from day one, and I feel like it lends and it allows me to come up with some really creative ideas, because I'm not trying to hold back and be like, oh no, that's not the idea I had. Like, I'm just gonna I'm not afraid to get weird, try something new, and end up in this place that I never thought I'd be in. So that's definitely kind of how Tumbling started. Tumbling, like the wub 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 bit, like initially I think I had started it for like more of a bass tune that was at like 145, and then like I was like, oh, I wonder if that, like if I really slowed that down and made it into like, and yeah, and it sat much better in that space and ended up working out great. And
wow,
so yeah,
that's sick. That's very creative of you. Let
I mean,
it happen. You just let it
happen.
flow. You're not afraid to get uncomfortable. There's no box that you put yourself in.
No, not at all. And like I think because I like come from writing a total different style and a different genre, I'm open to writing absolutely everything. And I write a ton, and I definitely don't release everything that I write. And so because of that, I'm also very okay with just like, you know, I'm just down to write whatever, and it turns out to be a hit, sick. If it turns out to be absolutely nothing, that's also sick, and it's not time wasted. I'm just gonna write another one. You know, I kind of just, I've gotten to the point where I can write them pretty quickly, and so it's just a matter for me of just, you know, trying to keep writing better and keep writing more, and if I can just keep doing that, then I know, you know, if tomorrow I don't write a good song, I'm not really worried, because I think in a few days I'll probably will be able to.
Yeah. You don't put the pressure on yourself.
Yeah, and I think that way, if I don't put a lot of pressure, I don't like overthink and second guess myself when I'm making decisions. I'm like, oh, well, if this song in the end turns out that it sucks, well, then it sucks, and I'll just write another one that might not suck.
Got to make mistakes to learn from them, right, Alex?
Exactly. That's it, man. That's it.
That's so cool. I while we're on the topic, I'd like to ask you more about it, because when you're in the dubstep world, I'm not familiar with dubstep production, but I'm familiar with dubstep music enough to know that you got to try this, you got to try that. There's no rhyme or reason. You mentioned house music, right? You put a kick down and some percussion, and then you kind of have this room to groove in almost, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you get that percussion, you get that sort of movement, that there's that dubstep aspect of I can do whatever the fuck I want? Or like, what's your mindset when you're getting into the creative process?
So like, I always start with my drums. Like you said, I definitely, and my thoughts are, especially in tech house, the drums are the most important by far. By far. Some people
Totally
are like,
agree.
no, it's the bass line. I'm like, no, you can have a real dirt simple bass line with some crazy drums, and that's
So true.
That's a fucking tune. So what I try to do is I try to make my drums absolutely as full and as banging as early as I can. Because then I know, you know, it doesn't matter what I put as a bass line, it's gonna be banging. So I really, you know, try to lock that drum groove in, and then from there, I usually, you know, work through my, you know, what I'm gonna do for a bass. It might not be, you know, like a straight bass line, but I kind of want to have an idea of what the bass is gonna do, and then write something like that, and then I usually dive right to vocals pretty quick. I feel like I lean quite heavily in the vocal. They're like one of my go-tos for, you know,
it's a signature sound for you, man. You do this awesome vocal chop and wordplay that's so cool. It's all, you know, binge watch. That's kind of like what makes him cool. I love your sound with that too.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
dude, he's got some killer records too.
And he's insane.
He's got some funny ones, man. He's a funny dude. He's hilarious to watch.
He is.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. You know, lead to some vocals, fill it in with some synths. Who knows? Kind of go from there, and kind of sculpt it all around. But drums are key. If the drums aren't banging and the track's not banging, that's, you know, that's it.
That is the advice that we're looking for the producers out there. Because I always say, like, how do you be unique in the 4 on the floor house space when technically everybody could put down the same splice loop and it sounds good, but what makes it unique? And I do think it's the percussion aspect of any house song. It's what makes you, the bass line is most of the time like 3 to 5 notes, and you don't even want to overcomplicate it too, because you want the people to groove. You go to a house festival and it's like you find that groove, and some of my favorite house songs are 3 MIDI notes. And
yeah, man.
Right? Like, don't have to reinvent the wheel here, people, but have fun with the percussion. I love that. And the drums. Yeah,
dude, exactly.
It's good advice. You know, you have 3 incredible tracks with some of the best drum movement I've heard on In Rotation, bro. Like, I think they like you. You got Moving, man. Every Day, and Old School. Each of these absolute bangers, dude. Like
you,
moving is a in the words of DJ Susan, a peak hour bang bang. That's another
peak hour bang bang.
Yeah, that's another one that goes on the USB.
Thanks, man. Dude,
and In Rotation is a very reputable label, of course, a sub-label of Insomniac. You released 2020 and just recently too, right?
Yeah, we did. Moving was 2020, and then just did the last 2 releases. Kind of was old school and every day.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, which were a ton of fun, and mad love to In Rotation for, they were definitely one of the ones that right out of the gate is like, yeah, I really want to work with In Rotation. Everything that they've been putting out has been, again, another label that it has really been pushing sort of the modern house music. There's nothing, they're not really looking for those classic house records. They want to know kind of what's on the cutting edge, what's weird, what's crisp, what's clean. So I have a ton of respect for them. Their A&R team is incredible.
Yeah.
They've been so supportive of the project and really kind of down to work with myself and Todd, and have anytime we've kind of done a release, they've been great for like, doing an Instagram takeover and doing other sort of sharing producer tips on their socials and stuff. And so I got a big shout out the team over there for putting them on, because the records have done great now, and they've been, Every Day and Old School I think have been 2 of my bigger ones this year too. So
killing it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All the fun.
Shout out In Rotation.
Now,
dude, this next one I was really excited to ask you about. I mentioned him before we went live. My man Toombs here from Chicago, Illinois. You guys, Country Club Disco, and you guys have collaborated more than this too, but the Hell Yeah EP. I mean, this one is so cool because I knew your sound as an individual producer. I know his sound as an individual producer. And sometimes with collaborations, I don't want to say it sounds more one-sided, like, oh, this guy did more work, but sometimes it's like you follow that direction. This was like a 50-50 fusion, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Let's hear that 50-50 fusion. This is Cloverdale and Toombs, Hell Yeah, off the Hell Yeah EP on Country Club Disco.
Bring the funk. That's right. Bring the funk. That's right.
I think with that one, he had kind of sent one project over to me, and I had sent some projects over to him. And in the end, that's how we ended up with the 2 tracks.
There we go.
And both were definitely very much a collaborative process. Drew has some like killer sort of like vocal selection that he kind of picked some of those out. So he kind of nailed the thematic elements of it all. Dude, what was so much fun about that is, so we had the EP signed, and then Troy, who's one of my good friends here in Halifax, he's a promoter here. And we were like, man, Troy, it'd be so awesome to do an EP release party. Like, can you book Toombs to come to Halifax?
Oh, shit.
And the motherfucker did it. So Drew came all the way to Halifax, and we played a full, like, sold-out show here at the Seahorse.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dude, he came and played up here in Canada, and it was a blast. And that was, like, March 15th or something, 2020, and it was the last show that we played before COVID. Yeah, it ended up being the last one, which is sad.
Damn. Well, you went out with a bang, didn't you?
Went out with a bang. It was a huge show, ton of fun, and now everyone. That was the last show like our city had before it shut down. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's a great EP, and shout out to the homie Toombs again, man.
Dude, that was so much fun.
He's a special producer.
It was cold as fuck here when he came. It was like February. Well, it was March, and it was so fucking cold. And we went out to the skating rink. We got some poutine and we ate it all. There's a video on our Instagram, and we got him with hockey gloves on and stuff. And Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Brought him to the after party. I'm pretty sure we partied till like ridiculous o'clock in the morning.
Dude. I want to come out there. I really do. It's pretty.
Come on, it's a blast.
Beautiful. We're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Okay. All right. You got yourself a deal.
All right. Sick. I'll see you soon.
Okay. So this one we mentioned earlier, Octane, world famous headquarters. Great label, great track. This one's got 735,000 plays on Spotify apps. What boom. Fucking A, man. That's amazing.
Boom. Yes, I'd like to thank Spotify.
I'd like to thank Spotify for this. Cool, dude. That one hit all the big playlists, and it really is a great track. It's one of your most successful ones, but that was released in 2019, so it was one of your early ones. Let's check out some early Cloverdale. This one's called Octane off world famous headquarters.
Octane. 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 Octane.
Yeah, dude, it definitely it was the first one that got some major sort of Spotify playlisting support. Which ended up popping off. It did well, kind of getting supported by some other people. Ultimately, I think some of the playlisting it got landed in the Power Hour playlist, which I think is a sort of a workout playlist, which is killer. But because of that, we ended up getting an email from a music director for a Netflix show who was looking for some music for a workout scene. And I was like, you probably saw it in the workout playlist. Yeah. And so then it ended up being in the show Behind Her Eyes, which is like a pretty popular Netflix show. And
baby, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Making money. Allow me to live.
That's so fucking awesome, man. That's one thing I think I really try and open up to other producers out there. Like, I think so many of them think I need to be a world touring DJ to make money in the music industry. But like, there are so many other ways to actually do that. You don't have to go on a world tour to actually get some income. You don't have to be a millionaire also to enjoy life too. So that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. And like total, like that was so lucky. I wish like there was like a secret way to kind of do it again and do it again. But very much just kind of like ended up in that workout playlist, and they were looking for some workout music, and it all kind of, the stars aligned.
I mean, the secret, Alex, you said it earlier, man, just release a lot of music. Something will happen.
Yeah, that's it. Release a lot of music. Try and make every release kind of better than your last. Try and, always try and one up yourself a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you'll get there.
Yes, sir. That's good advice.
That's it.
Now,
have fun. Enjoy what you're doing.
Have fun and enjoy what you're doing. Clip that. Bang. Maybe I could end the episode right there. That's simple advice. But I can't, because I have to ask you, and I have to end with honorable mentions on some of your SoundCloud remixes, bro. Zoo Faded, Dizzy Rascal and Armin Van Helden Bonkers, Phlegmatic Dogs, Shibasano K. Yeah, I love that Shibasano K remix, by the way. I discovered that, like, whatever it was 2 weeks ago. That made it on the USB too. And of course, you mentioned Skrillex too. You did some Skrillex and Dog Blood remixes.
Yeah, dude.
How do you decide? Fun. You just wherever I can find the best acapella, or is it like you just like listen to a song, you're like, I got to put my spin on it?
Yeah, no. It has nothing to do with if there's a acapella or not. I feel like most of those there probably wasn't an acapella. You're mostly just trying to like work with the song or whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do a remix, it's got to be a song that I like love the song immediately.
Yep.
Like it has to be a song that I like. I'm like, fuck yeah, that is a certified banger.
There we go.
Heavy. And then 2, I need to sort of have an idea of like what I can do with it.
Yep.
So if I hear the song I'm out at the mall and I hear, I hear Bonkers by Dizzy Rascal. The drop comes in and I'm like, well, I know what I can do with that.
Yeah.
Like, I can make that a tech house track. And so
I can make that a tech house track.
if I have kind of an idea and a direction of where it can go, that's usually sort of the move. Something that I know that I'll be easily able to isolate or easily able to kind of chop up. Or,
Smart.
With that, I need the inspiration first before kind of diving in. But yeah, it's funny. The Zoo Faded remix we actually did on a Twitch stream, and so
really?
Yeah, we like basically put a list of I think 5 or 6 song ideas, and I remember one of them was Bad Boys for Life. One of them was Faded. There was a Celine Dion track. I forget what it was. Anyways, and we had the viewers vote on which one to remix, and then did it live on the Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah. Just awesome. Sat there. It did like the first like 90% of it. Got it pretty much there, and then I think I went back and did another mixdown or something on it. But yeah. God damn. It was fun stuff though. I wish I could do more of that. I probably can here soon because I got a new computer, but at the time I had a different computer that kind of struggled a little bit to do some of the streaming.
Multitasking.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a
CPU.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things I want to do all the time. Every day I'm like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. But there is just not enough hours in the day. And I wish I was like 20 people sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not. So
I feel the same. The same. We can only do what we can. At least everybody's got the same 24 hours in the day. That's kind of what keeps me level-headed about it.
Yeah. That's what I feel like too. Except for some people just are really good at using all of them.
Yeah, they're an insomniac in their own way though.
Yeah, I like to sleep a lot.
Me too, man. Yeah, I like to sleep.
Some people are like, man, I like sleep, 4 or 5 hours a night. I'm like, I do not at all. But
no.
I'm good about my sleep. I've never struggled with my sleep. I go to bed early. I wake up early, but I get like a solid like 8 hours. I'm like not a typical DJ.
Yeah, me too. We have a lot in common. I like to get my sleep too.
Yeah, it's sick.
I take care of myself. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
You drink a lot of water too?
Yeah, I drink a lot of water. I try to like be pretty organized. I don't know. I get some exercise.
Hey man, you were, I'll tell you, I won't drop any names, but I've had some people that cancel day of, that won't respond to messages, that never confirm on the email. And I was like, this guy's a fucking professional. We got a confirmation on the email invite. We've got quick response time in the DMs. I was a big fan before we even spoke.
Oh, thanks, man. I try to do that as much as I can, just because I know I've been on the other side of it as well.
Yeah,
now, and it is frustrating. But at the same time, I don't know. We're all human.
We are. Yeah. I don't get mad. It's just like,
of course,
when you get other people's schedules involved in your life, and you're like, this is what I can do, and then you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Get over it. Exactly. Don't sweat the small stuff.
It's tough. Yeah.
Small stuff. Okay, I like that question, especially to a producer like you who's released so much music. And I'll even let you throw in AWAL. Across all of your tracks you've released, regardless of success, streams, label, is there one that means the most to you?
Oh my. Oh, fuck.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of times people say unreleased, but I'm going to make you say something that's released.
Yeah, okay. Probably Racket Tactics. I'm thinking. Yeah, probably Racket Tactics.
I think you guys know what time it is. Let's check out Cloverdale's favorite track, Racket Tactics, off Vibrancy. Why is that?
So it's the song that we launched Vibrancy with.
Yeah.
So it was the first sort of Vibrancy release. It was a song that me and my manager both, like, as soon as I kind of finished it up, we were like, oh man, like this is sort of the sound that I've kind of been after. It kind of encapsulates the, what I want to be known for, a style that I want to be known for.
Yeah.
It, we always at Vibrancy like to say that we're high octane tech house, and that track, in my opinion, really is that. It like is a kind of a blend of tech house. It's got some sort of bass house elements. It's got some like modern, bongo groovy elements. And like a super crazy hype vocal. I like tried to try to harness some of my like Joyride and Skrillex influence, but mixed with, some sort of big groovy elements. It's definitely very much like structured like a tech house track, but like feels more like a bass house track. I don't know.
Yeah, you tiptoed on.
Yeah. And it was just like a real special track for me. And that would be the one, I think, because and it's funny, we shopped around a little bit, but not too hard, because we were like, yeah, this is a special tune. I mean, it was kind of a special tune early on, and we were like, instead of releasing sort of one of the ones that we couldn't get signed somewhere as like our label launching track, why don't we like launch the label with the best fucking thing? Because like we don't want to like be like, we self-released this because we couldn't sign it somewhere else. It's like, no,
you dug it up out the graveyard. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like some people do that. It's like, like I sent it around elsewhere, and so I couldn't get it signed, so I put it on my label. It's like, well, no, like, this was, I wanted to put it on my label because it's the fucking best one, that, in my opinion. That was kind of our thought process behind it.
I love that, man.
Yeah, and so I'd say that one, but there's definitely a ton out there that are pretty special to me. That one, I love Open Up a lot. It'd be that one. There's a couple tunes that I have in the vault right now that I think also are sort of like quintessential Cloverdale songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of Vibrancy,
I
want to talk about the label.
Okay,
So you had this track. How long before were you planning on starting a label? Or did this track like inspire you? What was the timeline like?
So Todd and I, Todd, my manager, we had kind of always thought like that we wanted to start a label. He comes sort of from the business startup world, and like has always sort of thought that it'd be like a really fun project to do. And I've always been super down. We wanted to build the Cloverdale project a lot first, and we probably would have built it even more, was sort of our initial plan, was to really sort of build the project a bunch more.
Sure.
But ultimately, like, we kind of got to a point where it's like we'd kind of signed tracks with the majority of the labels that we were kind of reaching for. And we kind of had already released on some of our dream labels, and it's not that we were let down by some of the labels, but we were also like, oh, okay, so like this is what you do. I see what you're doing. Okay. And we were like, I could do that. And there were often elements that it's like, I could do that better. And so we were like, hey, like, I don't know why we're really, like waiting too much longer. This was kind of in the middle of the pandemic, and we had a little bit of time on our hands, and it kind of just seemed like the right time. We ended up applying. The Canadian government here had a couple of grant programs that we applied for, and we ended up getting one to help launch the label.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Which was super killer.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of programs like that, and so we're gonna apply for a little bit more money here soon, and hopefully, there's a bunch of wicked grant programs up here in Canada for. That's really cool. They have provincially funded ones, so like state funded, same deal, and then there's also a couple federally funded ones as well, and there's a bunch of money up for grabs. but you kind of do need to be like somewhat established, but as long as you have sort of like a certain amount of like, you know, a bit of a following, basically prove that you are a professional, then there's definitely money up for grabs. You got to match it, so it's like, you know, you got to kind of contribute 50%, they contribute 50% kind of deal. But but still it's free money, so
fuck yeah, dude.
Kind of allowed us to kind of get our website up and going, and we did some like promo campaigns, and you know, a couple Facebook ads and Instagram ads and stuff like that.
And it launched, baby. You launched in October, right?
It was the end of October. We did, and then kind of like all through November, we kind of promoted that. You know, we try and like with each release, you know, it's not just like, you know, post a couple things. We really try and draw out and like do a bunch of different content throughout the whole sort of like, you know, 2-3 weeks after a release. And really, you know, do live streams, do demo feedback streams, do like track production streams. We've been doing, you know, track like Q&As and Instagram takeovers.
Yes.
And, you know, all kinds of things, just trying to get the artist's face in front of the people as much as we can. And
very community
build the brand.
Label.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to go for. Really try and you know, build up those artists and share good tunes, and that's it. Ultimately, it's just share good tunes.
That's right, man. And you've had some incredible artists. We've got DJ Susan, Local Singles, Eleganto, Cashew, Not the Father, Stun, yourself, of course, dude. Like, we got some established, we got some growing.
Man, it's been so much fun.
It's so cool, man. Like, everything about it, you know, you and Toombs had another release, and every track is like really good. Really
thank you.
Really fucking good. How do you, what's your demo process, you know, for people that maybe want to send you stuff? Are you looking for something specific?
Oh, dude.
You probably don't even give a shit about like the following, and you just want good music, right?
No, we really don't care about the following. You know, we just want good music is pretty much it. We just so on our last Exhibit CVP, we just it was like our last compilation. We put out a track by Who and Why, and then it was his debut release. He'd never put out a song ever before, and this is his first track. But it was so good. I'd heard it in the demos, and I was like, "Man, this song is fucking amazing." so yeah, we put it out, and so he came out of the gates running, and so yeah, your following doesn't matter at all. But as long as your music is, you know, on point. You know, it fits the sound that we're going for, you know, sort of cutting edge, sort of modern, forward thinking, high energy tech house music, you know, stuff that sort of straddles that line between tech house and bass house. And, you know, we call it high octane tech house.
High octane tech house.
You know, some of it is a little bit more bass housey, but yeah. And, we have a demo submission on our website over at vibrancylabel.com. And so if anybody wants to send out some demos, that's the place to do it. We have a pretty automated, cool demo listening feed, so I don't miss a demo, which is sick. And,
that's awesome. It's not just some blanket email type thing.
Yeah, no, we've tried to really sort of hone in on that, because that was another thing, is we really were getting frustrated sending out demos to labels and then, you know, hearing back like 2 months later, 3 months later sometimes. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I never want to do that to other people. So but that being said, we've been getting a fuck ton of demos, which has been amazing. It's been awesome, and I've been loving listening to everybody's tracks. But it has been a lot. So I couldn't imagine.
Good problem.
I think about that sometimes. It's like, man, like I think about how many labels we get. So I'm like, how many demos we get. Sorry. So I'm thinking like, how many demos is like Repopulate Mars getting? How many demos is, you know, Confession getting and stuff?
Yeah.
Night Base.
So true.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. It must be, you know, like we're getting like 5 or 6 a day kind of deal. And they must be getting.
That's stacks.
Yeah. They must be getting so many.
So fucking many. I don't even know. What's the name Vibrancy though? I mean, it's a great name. What's the inspiration?
So I actually forget first if the concept came first or the label came or the name came first. But basically it ties well with what we're trying to do. We're trying to also showcase the artwork side of things and pair really, really dope visual artwork with the music. So with each release that we do at Vibrancy, we kind of pick a new visual artist, and it's not always sort of like your traditional sort of 3D graphic artist that you see on most label releases.
Yeah.
Our first one was with this cool abstract painter, and she does these like full-on canvas paintings, and we kind of took an image from that, but then we did a full profile piece on her and tried to showcase her artwork to our fan base as well. And then we worked with a graffiti artist, we worked with a fashion designer. Right now we're working with a jeweler.
Wow.
Our next one is with this video projectionist. He kind of projects videos onto like canvases in different shapes and stuff.
Whoa.
So we're really trying to like step outside of the box in terms of like how you can incorporate artwork into the release of your music project.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing. And that has been a whole super, super fun side of it. The release we're doing right now, actually, and it's Cashew's Fear EP. It actually comes out this Friday. We just put out the first single, came out last Friday, and the whole EP comes out this Friday. But the artist that we've paired with is called the Six of Cups, and they are a jeweler duo out of Austin, Texas. And they've actually made this really cool, they've called it the Vibrancy Stone. And
damn.
And it's like this shiny sort of opal, crazy colors, like stone that they've made, and we're actually going to auction it off for charity during our live stream this Friday. And so that's going to kind of be our fun little thing that we're tying in with the Cashew EP. And so the stone is actually sort of the backdrop of the album artwork, and the Spotify canvas, and it's kind of tied into all the branding is this real physical one of a kind stone. And then we're gonna sell it off.
Dude.
Yeah, it'll be a fun little
More
thing.
than a label. God damn, this is incredible.
Thanks, man. Yeah, as I said, we're trying to do things for, a little out of the ordinary, kind of, keep other people involved and collaborate with as many people as we can, and just push good art. So
cool, man. So cool. And I love how you're involving
so
different types of artists too. It's not just like a graphic designer and a producer. It's like jewelers, and you're probably gonna get an architect involved here soon, aren't you?
That'd be sick.
Any architects out there?
Yeah,
Hit up Cloverdale.
There we go. Actually, I really do want. We don't have sort of an artist submission portal right now, and I'd like to kind of set that up, because I really would like to sort of. What's great with the Six of Cups, these jewelers are also, I think Todd connected with them through the House Call Discord server, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're fans of the music, they're fans of that, and so the collaboration kind of like worked out great, and so we always want to work with people that are down for the cause, and love what we're up to, we love what they're up to, and sort of cross promote the whole thing.
So sick.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, man. What a great story, and what a hot start to Vibrancy.
Thank you so much, man.
On fire, man. On fire. Congratulations to you on that. And
I
think a lot of people don't even know the undertaking that goes into starting and building and continuing a label too. So I'm glad you got the help of the Canadian government at the very least.
No, big ups to them, and big ups to Todd too, who's kind of been tackling the whole business side of it too, and he really it's a team effort between him and I, for sure.
That's awesome. Sounds like I gotta have Todd on the podcast
too. Dude, actually, if you want to have someone who's like down to talk like music and music business and stuff, he's super, super smart in that regard and would chat your ear off. So
I always interview people behind the scenes, man. They're part of the lifeblood of the music industry, and they play such a vital role that I think is forgotten a lot.
Oh, totally, man. Totally. And it's just great to have someone who's just there to grind along with you, and there to kind of build as much as you are. So it's dope.
Yeah, special. Now, on a bit of a personal note, being a creative, let alone a DJ producer, certainly someone who's at a different part of the world as well, can have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of successes, a lot of failures. And I think a lot of people don't see the times where you're by yourself in your room trying to make a track. Well, I guess you were in the incubator, so maybe it didn't happen as much, but have there been any obstacles you've encountered along the way? And if you can think of something specific, how did you overcome it?
Oh man. I mean, it's tough to think like total specifics. I feel like it's just like, it's a constant every day, you know, the amount of like, you know, demo rejection emails or like the amount of collabs that have started that just like faded out into nothing. Or, you know, there's kind of constant, you know, shows that you thought were going to happen and that didn't happen. And
don't say anything until you see your name on the flyer. And even then it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, I feel like everybody kind of has those moments. And I often thought that it, like for a long time, that it was sort of a, you know, if only I knew that person, if only I knew that person. And like, it's really not, it's not necessarily the case. You know, sometimes if you know somebody, it might, you know, get you, you know, one little leg up here or there, but like ultimately the thing that matters the most is what you're doing, you know, what you're putting out, the, you know, the content that you're making. If you make amazing content, you know, eventually people are gonna, you know, people aren't gonna be able to look away. People are gonna be, you know, you're that's it. You just got to put out the best of the best, focus on your craft, and you know, eventually people won't be able to ignore you.
Let you become the person that people want to know.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I used to definitely kind of like get bogged down on that and think, you know, like why isn't my music getting signed? And looking back on it, and if I listen to the songs now, I'd be like, oh well, what didn't get signed because it was a shit song. Like that's why. And like ultimately at the time, if I had listened to it, I probably could have been like, oh yeah, I guess it's not as good as everybody else. It's good. But that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, the hardest part about music right now is everybody is so fucking good.
There's no barrier to entry. People getting younger and younger. It's ridiculous.
Exactly, right? And so because of that, there's so many producers and everybody is amazing. So in order to kind of shine through today, you really need to be A, amazing, and B, incredibly unique, and doing your own thing and really kind of pushing the boundary, which is, it's not easy. It's hard. It takes time, it takes effort, but you can do it. You can do it. Just stick it out, have fun. You know, your music's going to suck for a couple years.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, that's the hardest part is, you know, the first few years where, you know, no matter what, you're still learning and it just takes years to learn. Like there isn't, unfortunately, like a super fast track to training your ears, especially to like mix down a song. You know, there's nothing, you know, you just need to do it, you know, 50 times, 100 times.
So true. 50 times, 100 times. I sometimes think about like the music industry and your longevity as an artist. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You better love the process because one release could change your life, but you could get 99 no's, right? And that one that you decided I'm going to keep going, that is the one that will take you over the edge. But the fact is, it's really easy to say fuck this on 30 and 40 attempts and 50 attempts and 98 attempts.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy what you're doing and you're having fun with your friends and you're meeting new people and you just genuinely have a passion for it, then everything will eventually happen. And that's kind of like, dude, this is episode 164, I think.
Dude, that's nuts. Congrats, man. That's crazy.
Thank you, man. So it's like, you know, I had a lot of times where I was like, is anybody listening?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
But now I've never enjoyed the process more. And I've never had more momentum because I'm doing what I love. And I feel so grateful to have found my passion in life at this point. But I didn't know, you know, I'm 28, about to be 29. I didn't know for a long time what I really wanted to do. And it turns out doing this podcast and interviewing people who are passionate about what they do is what I love the most. So that's my perspective on it.
That's what's up, man. Exactly. And that's it. If you wake up, like for me, I wake up every morning pretty much and I'm like, man, I can write music all day.
Yeah.
All day.
I can podcast all day. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And it's my favorite thing to do. And like all the time, I'm like, all right, like, what can I do to like get rid of all this other shit I gotta do so I can just sit and get baked and write tunes?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
So-
when I come out, we're stopping, we're smoking, we're having some cider, and we're gonna enjoy our time. Is that
all
work
right?
for you?
Sounds like a plan, dog. I'm down. I am down.
Okay, last question. What do you got in the works for the rest of this year? What can you tell us about?
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, what can I tell you about? We got next release is another track of mine with me and Slatin. He's a buddy he's originally from Russia but lives in Spain. It's just funny about Slatin and I. If you like showed pictures of us next to each other, we look almost like identical. We wear like similar glasses, and if I shaved, like we're both bald. And
oh
like,
my god, that's hilarious! You got to come up with some good content for that. That's just waiting for it.
I know. I gotta think it through big time. So we have a track called "Killing Me" that's coming out on a Vibrancy compilation, Exhibits Volume 3, the end of June, and then I got a track. A collab actually with Local Singles.
Yes, the Local Singles boys, they're incredible.
Dude, they're fun shit. They just kind of, I saw their name show up in the demos, on like the Vibrancy demos months ago, and they sent in this tune with Phobos called the, what was that? Lighters. And we put it out on Vibrancy, and since then I was like, man, these guys are fun as fuck.
Yeah.
They sent over some projects, and I was like, dude, this is dope as hell.
Yeah.
So we actually have a tune coming out on Techni, which is Noisy's label.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Fun tune. It's definitely probably one of the more houseier, sort of like a classic house type sound that you've heard, but it definitely has a little bit of that edge to it. So that's gonna be coming out in July, and then I feel like those are the only ones I have dates for that are locked in right now. But then I kind of have a stack of tunes that are, probably an absurd amount that are just sitting there. We're
and some formulating tracks that might see the light of day. It sounds like.
Yeah, who knows, man. We're gonna formulate a bit of a plan. It's been a ton of fun. I'm working on hella collabs right now, trying to finish up a bunch of those. Working on stuff with. I feel like I could say. All kinds of stuff. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever you want to say.
I'm working on stuff with No Thanks, which is some dope guys from Vancouver who do some sort of like fun bass house stuff. Doing a track with Sodef from Australia.
Yeah.
Some stuff with Truth and Lies.
Wow.
House Divided.
Yes. Let's go.
Basically, all my favorite kind of producers right now.
I can't wait to hear these. Holy shit.
Yeah. Those guys, all those names I just named are all like guys that have been fucking killing it and like really, pushing forward the sound and really sort of align with what I'm doing. And I'm stoked to be working with all of those guys because, I'm and the tunes are shaping up well, and excited to kind of put a bow on those and ship them off.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Sounds like 2021 is going to be a big one for you. And as soon as you can travel again, man, I'd love to book you for an event here in Chicago. I mean that.
Dude, I'd love to be there as soon as, I'm hoping. I got my vaccine appointment in like 15 days. It's coming up. It's soon. We're a little slower here in Canada, but
that's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. What can you do?
What can you do? The Canadian attitude. What can you do, eh?
There we are. But so I got my vaccine appointment coming up soon. So hopefully, a couple months after that will get me on the road.
Sounds good.
Just get me on a plane. I want to get out of here.
Well, you keep hunkering down, staying safe. Congratulations on moving into your new place with your girl. And
thanks, dog.
I hope you guys don't fucking bust down the walls with some bass music, but
no promises, man.
No promises, dude. This has been so much fun. I'm an even bigger fan of you now than I was before, and I'm not surprised because you're the fucking man.
Cheers, brother. Likewise. You're a G. Thank you so much for having me, and this has been a blast, man.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Cloverdale. Woo! Add him to the Rolodex, and shout out to Vibrancy as well.
Thank you so much, brother.
And Todd.
Yeah. Me.
All right, my man. You have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You too, brother.
Peace out.